McDavid versus Celebrini right before the Olympics. Oil Country is in for a treat tonight. We get you set for the Oilers and the Sharks on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well out there. Tom Gazzola with you, alongside Betty Thomson. Matt Kassian is our game analyst. Curtis Pashelka will be our visiting guest from the Bay Area News Group. Had a chance to catch up with him a little bit earlier on in the afternoon, and he gives us the scoop on the San Jose Sharks. Of course, join the conversation. Text us 780-218-9999. Hop into the nasty chat as well as we get you set for tonight's action. And, of course, GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are your critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Betty Thomson, what's up? Oilers 27-19-8, Sharks 27-21-3. How we feeling?
I'm feeling good. Feel good. Well, not like physically, no, but ready for a good game here tonight. Obviously, San Jose Sharks, they've been causing a lot of storylines, I guess, with this kind of the talent that they have, and they have a very good young superstar over there in Zach Ostapchuk. So I'm excited to see him play tonight and take on. I'm kidding, Macklin Celebrini, and the Sharks look pretty good over there. So I'm excited to see how they play in Rogers Place, and I'm sure it'll be a good matchup.
I was laughing because bringing up Zach Ostapchuk reminds me of Cass, who has a fondness for Zach Ostapchuk. Yes. And I think Cass has a business connection of some sort with Ostapchuk. So I was like, holy mini Cass over there. But I see what you did. Well done. I appreciate it.
Friend of Hello Hockey.
Friend of Hello Hockey. That's right. That is right. All right. Well, we're going to get to Cass in a little bit. He needs to scoot home. He's going to join us in about 15 minutes. We'll hear from Chris Knobloch. We'll go over lineups and goaltenders and injuries and all that good stuff. And then we'll get to Curtis a little bit later on in the show. So let us know how you feel about this game. Is this going to be a 3-game winning streak finally? It's not going to be easy, certainly, for the Oilers. But I suppose 10th time's the charm. They've put themselves in this situation 9 times already. This is the 10th. And they failed 9 out of 9 times so far. Hopefully they can convert if you're an Oiler fan tonight. Benny Thomson, does that have anything to do with the question of the night, or is this independent of it?
No, it's independent of it. Okay. The question of the night tonight, it's not Oiler-centric. We're going straight Sharks.
Oh, I like this. Okay.
Do you think the San Jose Sharks make the playoffs this year? Question of the night. Let us know.
Ooh, very good question of the night. Show your work. Let us know your thoughts. 780-218-9999. Coming into action tonight. They are in the second wildcard spot at 57 points. They're tied with LA and Seattle at 57 points. Now, the Sharks, the Kings, and the Kraken all have games in hand on the Oilers. Edmonton is going into game number 55. This is going to be game number 52 for San Jose. And LA also at 51 games so far. The Kraken at 52 games so far. So they're they're closing in on the Ducks, who are at 59 points through 53 games. Edmonton 62 points in 54 games. This is an important Pacific Division 4-point game. I'll say yes. I like the Sharks and their kind of rambunctiousness, similar in a way to Anaheim, but I like the way Anaheim is aggressive and they attack. Anaheim had a bunch of injuries. The Sharks don't really. Maybe the Sharks don't have as much young, up-and-coming depth. They have some decent pieces. Obviously, Celebrini, Will Smith are great. Michael Meza is in that mix as well. But I think Anaheim is a step up in that regard. But I do think the Sharks could be a surprise playoff team here, and good on them. Great if they can pull it off. I was down on LA, Benny, to start the season. Even in the offseason, I still kind of am, even though they've rattled off 3 straight wins. And the Kraken, I don't have a lot of faith in the Kraken.
No.
So
I'm with you.
I do think the Sharks have a good chance of it. I'll say yes. I think they make it. They squeak in.
Yeah, their team, I don't think anyone saw making it. But it's a testament to Macklin Celebrini in the year he's had. Like he has been just flat out ridiculous for this Sharks team. So to me, yeah, I mean, I kind of like their upside more. I understand they're the younger, like kind of more sought after team than the Kings, but I actually do kind of think they will squeak in. I'm in agreement with you. The Kings, man, they just don't have it. I've been saying it. I just don't think they don't have it. They don't have those guys on the team to at least compete for the Stanley Cup. Even make the playoffs this year. They're really struggling to score. So I'm with you. I think San Jose squeaks in.
I don't love that Kings roster. I didn't in the summer. I don't right now. They traded away Deneau. They struggle scoring. It's an older roster full of former Oilers. Yeah. So I like those players. I like Warren Fogle. I like Cody Ceci. I like Corey Perry. But I don't know. I don't really like the makeup of that team in LA. So I think they might be on the outside looking in this year. But who knows? Lots of hockey left to be played, and we're getting to crunch time pretty quickly. Like it's almost the stretch drive here. Mm-hmm. There's less than 30 games to go. So it's just weird because it's almost February. It's still late January. This damn schedule's been so condensed. So that's interesting. That's a good question of the night. And I'll say, yeah, I think the Sharks do squeak in there. So let us know your thoughts. 780-218-9999. Feel free to chime in on the winning streak, by the way. I know we've talked about it ad nauseum, but understandably so. I mean, they have
10th attempt tonight?
10th attempt. Yeah, that's crazy.
Please, can we get rid of this conversation? Just put it into it. Like
even the players talk about it.
Yes.
Like they say, hey, it'd be nice to get on a roll here and win a few in a row.
Like to me,
go do it.
Just go finish it. Just go get it done. For me, I'm with you with like good teams win, have long winning streaks. And we've seen with this Oilers team in the past where they've been able to do that. Right now, they haven't been able to all year, and they've just been fighting it. It seems like that final third game on that win, like for the win streak, something happens. Either they don't play well enough, or I know Knobloch was said earlier today with how they've actually had a couple good games where it just hasn't gone their way. Let's see if it changes tonight.
Yeah, they've had a few duds in the third game of a potential winning streak. For show. All right, let's get to some thoughts here from the nasty chat and the inbox. Zulu says this season has flown by. Yep, Zulu, agree. Jack and Dak says if the Sharks made the playoffs, Celebrini has a strong case for Hart. I don't disagree with that, man. He is a fun guy to watch. Mm-hmm. A really fun guy to watch. Jack and Dax also adds Ken Holland is trying to get the gang back together in LA. That's yes, kind of. Rowdy texting in via the inbox 780-218-9999. Rowdy, what's up? Good to hear from you. Rowdy says, hey, Tommy, watching you guys on YouTube. Oil can't come out sleepy. Get on them early. Sharks will make the playoffs, in my opinion. Great show. Your pal, Rowdy. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up button. Benny, you've been saying it. Subscribe. We always say like, but we want the subscriptions is the big thing. It helps spread the good word of our station, and the more the merrier. And we've had a lot of new listeners and viewers, iHeartRadio side. Tune-in is great, obviously, and then on YouTube is a juggernaut, and I'm so glad that when we launched EST, we're like, let's stick a camera on every show. It expanded, the horizons and the opportunity of getting people in. And honestly, radio and TV has evolved. Mm-hmm. We're a radio station on the digital side. Obviously, we didn't have to go to a transmitter. I think those days are pretty much over. On the FM side, obviously stronger in Canada. AM, we're seeing it dwindling. In the US, it's all on your phone. It's all tied in that way and on your laptop or computer. And now, you can watch YouTube on your damn TV. It's a channel, right? Like I was watching Reed and Jay earlier on there. So on my TV in the studio. So anyway, enough of that. Let's get to some lineups here. For the Oilers, here's what we're anticipating from them. McDavid with Nugent Hopkins and Hyman. Draisaitl between Podkolzin and Kapanen. Szymanski, I'd like to see more of him. Mm-hmm. So this is good. Centering Savoy and Roslovic. Lazar between Janmark and Frederick. Ekholm, who took the morning skate. How did you like that hero walk I got of him?
That was nice. That was pretty sweet.
I was in a conversation with, who did I talk to first? Andrew Peard. And then Stoff and I were having a conversation. And then I saw Ekholm walking by and I was like, oh, well, we had a nice chat. And then I see Ekholm go by. I'm like, you know what? Hero walk. Let's get it. So it was good. And if he's taking the morning skate, even though he was questionable or day-to-day or whatever, he's pretty stubborn and in a good way, like he wants to play. So I think he's a GOAT tonight. So we'll keep an eye on that, obviously watching warm-ups and let you know if anything changes. The Wild have just scored on the Flames, by the way. That game started a couple minutes ago. It's just 2.5 minutes in, 3 minutes in, 1-0 in many 15 games on the schedule. Such a busy Thursday. They're cramming all these games in before. I think we have until Thursday of next week, and then it's the Olympic break. So anyway, let's get back to those lines. Ekholm with Bouchard. We think Ekholm's a go. Nurse with Emerson. Wallman with Stasny. So no Regula, no Mangiapane is anticipated. Ooh, we got a fight. Foligno off the draw with Klapka.
Yeah, those are two big contestants.
Big boys. Sense. Yeah. Klapka is like 6'8". Foligno's Foligno. I'd say he got the win on that one. For the Sharks tonight, Macklin Celebrini with Colin Graff and Will Smith. Keep an eye on that line. Alex Wenberg between Pavel Regenda and Tyler Toffoli. Michael Miza with William Eklund and Adam Gaudette. Zach Ostapchuk with Barclay Goudreau. Yeah, there's the head nod from Benny. And Ryan Reeves on defense. Dmitry Orlov with John Klingberg, former Oiler. Mario Ferraro with Timothy Liljegren. Sam Dickinson with Vinny Desharnais, who was just a bull in a china shop in his return to the lineup last week. Caused the goalie fight. Nedeljkovic. Who did Nedeljkovic fight there?
Bobrovsky.
No. That was fun to watch. You're starting netminders tonight for the Oilers. 28-year-old Connor Ingram, 5-3-1 with a 240 GAA, 909 save percentage with 1 shutout in 10 games this season. 2-0-1 is Ingram's record versus the Sharks' lifetime. 926 save percentage, 231 GAA, 1 shutout in the 3 appearances versus the Sharks. And then at the other end of the rink, Yaroslav Askarov. He played great against Edmonton in that game last year.
Yeah,
he's 23 years old, 17-13-1 this year, 346 GA, 891 save percentage in 32 games, 0-0-1 versus the Oil lifetime, 299 GA, 929 save percentage. Man, he made some phenomenal saves in his lone appearance against Edmonton. I want to read a name for the Sharks who I don't think we're going to be seeing tonight. Vincent Iorio.
That's a interesting one. How about that?
Yeah, I had to go to the pronunciation guide for that one. Iorio, just to be like, okay, I need to clarify this. Iorio, Vincent, present. All right, let's get to the Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy injury report. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You have a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sport Med. Book your assessment today, www.advantagesportmed.ca, or call 780-460-9977. Sounds like you need to book an appointment. So what the heck happened to you?
I was doing lat pull downs this morning, and I was just I don't know. I think I was trying to overcome
wide grip.
Wide grip, and I swung in on the last one, I think, and I dropped the sails, the final one, and instantly, like, the whole right trap just on fire. And then I'm like, I think I should be fine. I tried one more, and I was like, okay, no, I should probably call it. And then, all day today, like, I can't turn my head left right now. Like, it hurts. So, yeah.
That's not good.
Advantage Sports Medicine. I need
that physiotherapy. Well, I'll tell you what, Ben. They're a phone call away, or just visit their website, www.advantagesportmed.ca, or call them 780-460-9977. For the Oilers, Adam Henrique, LTIR, undisclosed. And then for San Jose, Ben Myers, IR lower body, Matt Murray, IR lower body. Really quickly on lineup. I know we talked about it yesterday, and that was, Noah Philp possibly being claimed by Edmonton. I like the idea. I like organizational depth. I like Noah Philp. I think he's a great story. I feel like there's a decent NHL player there. And, in the afternoon, I was told, hey, don't expect us to claim him. Just doesn't sound like it's going to happen. And so we put it out there. Thank you for doing that. Good clip. And then obviously that came to be today. What did you think of that? Were you disappointed, indifferent? Like, how did you look at it?
I'm kind of surprised they didn't go and pick him up, because I'm pretty sure the rule was that you could send him down. Like, just if you picked him up, you can put him right in the minors.
I got caught in a long Twitter thread on that one. I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah,
anyway, sorry.
I'm pretty sure you could. So, I'm kind of surprised. But at the same time, I think the Oilers were looking at, okay, if we do send him down to Bakersfield, whose minutes is he taking? And do we see him as a possible option later down the line? And I think ultimately they liked what they had in Bakersfield. And I mean, you're seeing, Josh Szymanski's playing his second game in the NHL. I think they like the upside that Szymanski has. So, you know what? After looking more into it, can't say I'm too surprised now. Initial reaction I was, but I think Noah Philp will go to Charlotte, probably play pretty well. I don't think his pro, career in North America is done. I think he'll probably. No. I think an NHL team will probably go take a chance on him eventually later down the line. But yeah, I guess he'll stay in the Carolina organization.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts. 780-218-9999. Bob and I were talking about that, and then we continued the conversation with the Roslovic stuff. And yeah, I was surprised too. And I was told the ask was more than 4x4. And I was like, really?
Walk away.
The free agent pool is not strong next year.
Yeah, I know. It's just the problem is, I mean, this is a fear of mine. He's going to, to me, he's been advertised this way.
Yeah.
He's hot and cold. Yeah. He's hot and cold. And he's been a nice piece, but oh man, I have a worry that if he signs, especially an extension, like now, that the numbers will go back down. And I mean, they haven't been great as of late. To me, I agree 100% with Joaquin. He said, you have time in the offseason and go just let's see what you do in the playoffs. Because he was a healthy scratch for Carolina at some points in the playoffs.
Right.
To me, go prove that you can go do this in the playoffs. And if you can, okay, fine. Then you can go extend him. But I think the Oilers, their management, they've had some tough decisions where they've given money to guys that haven't proven that they deserve it. And it's biting them in the ass right now. There's one on their fourth line right now tonight. It's to me, it's a big example. You should have some patience with it.
He's played 45 playoff games.
Yeah.
In his career, 3 goals, 14 assists, and 8 penalty minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So anyway, I was surprised when I was told that conversations were happening, and I'm like 4x4, like Stoff was talking. They're like, probably wants more. So, or does want more. Not sure if 4x4 gets it done. It's interesting. And I'm with Gager. I'm with you. What's the rush?
Yep.
What's the rush? Yeah. Anyway, let us know your thoughts. 780-218-9999. Oh, we got a lot of action in the penalty box in Minnesota. Nice to see. Calgary's on the power play. They continue to trail 1-0. Really quickly, speaking of, Bakersfield and Philp not being claimed by the Oilers. And, we're seeing Szymanski up here. We've seen Quinn Hudson, who's having a great year down in Bakersfield. Ike Howard has played well down in Bakersfield. He's been up and down with the Oil this year. They lost, the Condors did last night in Henderson. So it's a suburb of Vegas, to the Silver Knights 2-1. They dropped the game in San Jose to the Barracuda on Saturday, 5-3. They lost to the Colorado Eagles 4-1 on Friday. They did beat Colorado last Wednesday, and they were on a nice little run before this 3-game slide here. They also unveiled some new third jerseys today, which I thought looked really nice. Go check out their Instagram. You know what it kind of looks like? The Oilers reverse retro when they had the orange pants.
Yeah.
Kind of the inverted colors. I think they kind of have that type of look. Go have a look. It's kind of neat, like what they're doing down there. And they're putting together a pretty decent season, propelled by the young guys and a good mix of veterans. All right, so Cass will be joining us on the phone. Is he joining us right away here, Benny? I see he's texting
yeah, I'm
us.
loading up the phone right now. I'm about to call.
Okay, so in the meantime, you know what I'm going to do?
Let's do it.
Let's do the game day odds check. Because then we'll get to Cass, then we'll get to Curtis, then we'll see if we have time for Chris Knobloch. So let's get to your game day odds check, brought to you by Play Alberta, our presenting sponsors here at EST. Great to be on board with them, and it's been a very nice relationship. When you play in Alberta, it stays in Alberta, safe and secure. The revenue generated from Play Alberta is redirected into Alberta's General Revenue Fund, which is used to support programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. Your money line for tonight, Edmonton minus 185. The Sharks plus 155. Road Dogs. Ow, ow, ow. The over-under at 6.5. Minus 164 is the over. Under set at plus 122. So I think the bookkeepers, odds makers are thinking we're going to get a lot of goals tonight because the Oilers have been loose defensively lately, and they've also scored a whole bunch of goals. So that is your game day odds check brought to you by Play Alberta. Is Cass good to go, Benny?
Working on it right now.
They're working on it right now. All right, shoot me a note when you have them. Let's dive into the inbox. Rod Z says, tonight we get a 3-game win streak or Gazzola shaves eyebrows. Not a chance, Rod Z. Not a chance, but pretty funny. And Nolan from St. Albert says, I think that the Sharks make it to the playoffs. They're rolling. Vibes are high. Mike Greer seems to be a solid GM from my point of view. I think they're in a good spot. And then Nolan from St. Albert adds, Roslovic was picked up off the scrap heap just a few months ago. Diving into a long-term extension would be a risky play. A lot of that conversation and that sentiment, it seems to be going around with the fan base, and I agree. Stupid Peter is asking if Stoff was devastated they didn't claim Philp. I think both of us were kind of like, oh man, it would have been nice, and organizational depth and all that. And then, Bob went into some other stuff, and then I got tired of the conversation and followed Ekholm onto the ice. So that's kind of how that went. RBM says, of course the Oilers lost to the Kings. Was that going into the 3-game opportunity for a 3-game winning streak? Yes, that was juiced up for them, and they blew it a few weeks ago. And then RBM says, hi, friends. Rowdy Roddy says he just subscribed. See? Rowdy Roddy, attaboy. And then Liquid Beaver chiming in says, I think 97 is going to go off today just to send a little message to Celebrini. Not so fast, kid. It's not quite your time. All right, Cass is ready to rock. He's joining us via phone. Where the heck are you, Cass? How you doing?
Well, getting back from Fort Saskatchewan now at this point, but no, I'm good. We're in good shape. We'll be back. Should be back in time for game time, which is good. But hey, sometimes life throws you curveballs, and that's the way it goes. But yeah, I'm good. We're good. How are you, Tom? How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that very much. I'm excited to see this game, and I think we're gonna be in for a treat tonight, Cass. I think it's going to be a high octane game. I know the Oilers want to clamp things down defensively, but tonight might not be the night, in my opinion. What do you think?
It might not be. It certainly hasn't been the last number of nights. Yeah, maybe they do. But you kind of get the feeling that McDavid and Draisaitl want to put up some offense here today. Like that he does want to prove, as does Draisaitl, that they are the superior human from a hockey playing standpoint tonight, and that they are still better than Celebrini. So it kind of has that feel to it. I hope it's not. Like, I hope we see the Oilers just lock it down and methodically dismantle the San Jose Sharks, because I think you can still do that if you eliminate Celebrini. But yeah, we'll see. I could be wrong. And you could be right, and we could see some octane today, which would be fun. Might be a little bit scary, but it'd be fun.
All right, let's dive into Game Changers with our game analyst, Matt Kassian. People are like, oh, AM Cast, 1260 days. We're making it work. Actually sounds way clearer than the phones did back in 1260. So, and then we have a nice picture of you from your playing days in Ottawa. So nicely done on the graphic, Benny. Yeah, yep. You look great. Hair looks prestige, and I'm sure it looks excellent right now. Game Changers brought to you by our good friend Damon Bunting and Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting, a consistent top producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He's community driven and understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Number one tonight on Game Changers, Kaz. And I laughed when I saw you text it, and I want to read it the right way. San Jose Youths.
The youths. Again with the youths and the youth problems, and the youths just us not understanding them and them doing weird things and saying weird things and having weird phrases. That's like cap. 6'7" and all that. Yeah, all cap, no drip, full drip, whatever they're saying, all the weird things.
Yeah, Benny's just lighting up right now.
Yeah, Celebrini's got the Riz. Yeah, superior language. You know what? No, that's a tangent. I'm going to stay off the tangent of the new language and how we just had old language that was the exact same, and that's how I interpret it, and that's fine. Yeah. But yeah, say it whatever generational terms you want to use. My dad might say groovy. Celebrini is groovy, right?
Chappie.
He probably would say something like that. We might see Celebrini is wicked awesome, or he's sweet, or whatever. And then, it might be he's fire, or he's got Riz, or I don't know. There's a plethora of options out there. But regardless, what an exciting young player.
Yes.
Massive breakout season. He was good last year. Deservedly on Team Canada for the Olympics, and he's going to play. The kid plays in all areas of the ice, plays defense well, plays offense well, works hard. That's something I think if you haven't watched him, you will notice that he is very engaged in all areas of the ice, and then he'll burn you. And he is single-handedly pulling this San Jose team along. I mean, you shut him down, you shut the team down in a lot of ways. Not that there's not players who can score on occasion, but let's be real here. The offense for the San Jose Shark is all running through Celebrini. And for the Edmonton Oilers, if they can shut him down, slow him down, eliminate him as a threat, well, you're going to win a hockey game with almost absolute certainty.
It is Game Changers with our game analyst, Matt Kassian. San Jose Youths was point number one, talking about Macklin Celebrini, Will Smith, Michael Meza. And Cass, we were joking about Zach Ostapchuk earlier, and Benny gave him a bit of a shout out, and I was like, yes, Cass has a connection to him. You're going to be keeping an eye on him.
Another one of the youths, and you mentioned a couple, and I said Celebrini, but there's more there. He's a team on the up and up, and Ostapchuk he's just a good kid, great kid. Played out, was captain in Vancouver for the Giants in the Western League, one of my old teams. Spends a lot of time. He's actually pretty well connected with Matt Savoy. I actually think they're pretty good buddies together.
And he's lighting up again.
I think they played together in St. Albert.
They did. I was on that
sure
team.
They did.
I was on that team.
Oh, you're on? Okay, there you go. Yeah.
But what was that bench like?
I sat there and watched them do all of our work. It was awesome. Yeah. We won the championship that year and watched them score.
I'm kidding.
It was sweet.
Sorry, Ben.
You know what? He's a player that it maybe hasn't taken as much of a step as maybe the organization hoped he would take this year. At the start of the year anyways, but I still love him as a player. As a guy that could be, fourth line, third line, second line, and play some gritty, grindy minutes, plays the game heavy and aggressive. It's fun. I still remember watching him when he was with, that would have been with Winnipeg in the Western League when they were really good. And him just jumping a guy and beating the snot out of him. He's knocked out Rempe before. I don't know if you guys have seen that video.
No.
Dropped Rempe. He's a tough kid, doesn't shy away from anything, plays physical in the right way, and he's a local boy, so it's fun.
Nice. Good. I like it. Very good. Benny got very excited there. All right, let's go to point number 2, to the depths.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, there's not a lot offensively for the Sharks after Celebrini, and there's not a lot from whatever metric you want to use, whether analytics plus minus, just straight up points, 5-on-5 scoring, whatever it is, it really falls off quickly after him. That's why it's being talked about for him, even if they don't make the playoffs, to maybe potentially have a chance at winning the Hart, and very likely winning if they do make the playoffs. It falls off quickly. And for the Oilers, some of your depth pieces have started to come along a little bit. The aforementioned Matt Savoy starting to put up a couple more points, starting to chip in a little bit. That Lazar line has been, for as much goals as the Oilers have given up the last couple of weeks, that Lazar line's pretty good right now with Janmark and Frederick. Like, they've been pretty stable and steady and are finding their way a little bit. And the depths of the Oilers, the guts of the team in a game like today where you're playing a team that's got one guy that's really driving everything, that depth makes a difference. Because if your depth guys outplay their depth guys, and your top guys end up just par with Celebrini, or better, well, now you're winning a hockey game for sure. So, important that bottom six continues to find ways to contribute. It would be nice to see the Lazar line actually put one in the net. They've had some opportunities and it hasn't dropped, but they've been playing, I don't even want to say much more acceptable, but they've been playing pretty well. Like, I've appreciated their game. Want to see that continue to grow and the depth of the Oilers continue to have an impact.
We lost your audio there, Tom.
Sorry, my bad. I muted myself. Quick little anecdote from today. Curtis is a hilarious guy. When I was doing I followed Ekholm onto the ice. Laser was right behind me. He's like, Tommy, did you get the shot? And I was like, I got the shot, Laser. Been doing this for too damn long. And then when he came off after the optional skate, guys, I saw him again and I was like, how was it? He's like, oh, great skate. And I said, Laser, you got one in you tonight? You're going to muck one? And he goes, I don't know, man. I'm going to try. And I was like, come on, I'm rooting for you. And then he goes, you know what, Tommy, at the fan event the other night when it was the meet and greet, I actually felt like I was one of those guys that should have been going booth to booth meeting the guys on the team. And I was like, oh God, never change, Curtis.
He's so awesome funny. Too. His wife as well. He's been such a great kid. He's still just an absolute baby my last year in Ottawa, which is kind of crazy. Like, he's a grizzled veteran now, and he was just a little baby back then. Just a good human. No, love Laser.
Yeah. I knew you guys would appreciate that one. I'm very happy to see him having success. All right. It is Game Changers with our game analyst, Matt Kassian, brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Point one, San Jose Youths. Number two, To the Depths. Number three, Ekholm.
And I didn't get a chance to see. So have they, because we're probably not quite off from warmups yet. I'm assuming taking warmups. Do we know with certainty if he's in yet?
Great timing, Cass. Stoff just put it out. He's good to go.
He is good to go. Okay, yeah. And the thought from pregame skate was that based on Regula skating in his position and not somebody else, where he most likely was going to go. But clearly, there's something on, whether it's sickness or banged up or not feeling great. That dopamine drop after putting up a hat trick may be affecting him a little bit today. But it was such a great game for Matthias Ekholm, and such a fantastic just back to back for the hat tricks. But we didn't know if we are going to see him. But hey, for a guy that at times this season has looked a little bit less than himself, and you still feels like he's recovering from Four Nations, which is crazy, but it still kind of feels like that. Maybe we're starting to see a couple signs of him turning it around. Now, he's not, and nor will he be the most fleet of foot defenseman out there. But there was a couple times in that game actually where he was moving really well. And how about that behind the back pass? I mean, that was just a thing of beauty. And for the Oilers, a huge part of this defensive system. And he's going to have to be one of the guys that's shutting down Celebrini today. Maybe the guy, along with Bouchard, that's shutting down Celebrini today. Like, we have to see exactly what they do with the matchups, but it wouldn't shock me if Ekholm is the guy that sees a lot of them, and that's going to be a challenge with Celebrini, who skates very, very well. So a big day for Ekholm, coming off the hat trick to try to shut down one of the best young stars in this league. That
is Game Changers with our game analyst, Matt Kassian. Cass, I'm going to throw in a question from Coach Mike really quickly via the inbox, 780-218-9999. If you're listening on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, EdmontonSportsTalk.com's audio player, hit us up there, or you can get into the nasty chat if you're watching on YouTube. Coach Mike wants to know, how do they win 3 in a row? What do they need to do, Cass?
Score more goals than the other team.
There it is.
If they do that, they will win. How do they do that? You shut down Celebrini and your depth plays. I mean, that 2 of the 3 game changers, right? Netcolm's a big part of that, I think, too, with the Celebrini shutdown. But you do that, you're going to win this game. That's the bottom line. You do that, your depth plays how they're capable. You shut down Celebrini. You end up winning 3 in a row, and then we can all stop talking about it, which would be great.
Yes, touche. Cass, your old team, the Minnesota Wild, up 2-0 on the Calgary Flames right meow. And I just want to pass that along. 15 games on the schedule. Busy night, Cass. We will see you on the postgame show.
Absolutely, guys. Thanks a bunch. We'll see you soon.
There you go. There's our game analyst, Matt Kassian, with Game Changers, getting us ready for the action tonight. Before we go to Curtis Pashelka, Benny, any thoughts on what Cass had to say?
No, I'm with him. Shut down Celebrini. He's been, if there's a guy that is like single-handedly carrying his team more than anyone else in the NHL, it's probably Celebrini. That's why he's my heart favorite as of right now. If you shut him down, I like your chance to win the game tonight.
Fair point. All right. Had a chance to catch up with Curtis Pashelka about an hour before we went to air here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. He is from the Bay Area News Group, longtime reporter with the Sharks. Let's go to that right now. Let's welcome back into the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, the one and only Curtis Pashelka from the Bay Area News Group. Curtis, thank you for the time today. I'll start there. And I think we're excited here in Edmonton to see Macklin Celebrini in his second year, top 5 scorer, plays the right way. Connor McDavid was giving him praise yesterday in the locker room. What are we in for when it comes to this Sharks team? First of 4 meetings this year.
Yeah, as you recall, over the last 3 or 4 years, when the San Jose has gone to Edmonton, it's usually been a pretty one-sided game, and obviously here back in San Jose too, whenever the Oilers come to town. So, you expected probably a much more competitive game tonight. I think, it should be pretty wide open, should be pretty fun to watch. The Sharks play a pretty up-tempo, aggressive style in terms of their forecheck and want to get, pressure the puck and try to create turnovers, that kind of thing. And obviously Macklin Celebrini in and of itself is just kind of worth the price of admission too. So, it should be a great game tonight. A lot of fun to watch, and I'm sure the Edmontons or the Oilers fans there will be in for a treat. It should be interesting.
I'll tell you what, there were a lot of fans and kids, autograph seekers, lining up Ford Hall on the way to the arena, hoping to see Macklin Celebrini, and that kind of hype is real. When Pittsburgh was here a couple weeks ago, same thing. When Bedard's here, same thing. And for Celebrini, the hype is very real. So I want to ask you this. I know he's been great with Will Smith, but outside of those two, if you stop them, is there still offense that's coming from the other guys on the forward unit and the defense? Is it the key to just stop those two, or does this San Jose team have layers to its offense, in your opinion?
It would be a big part of it, for Celebrini and Smith. That would be half the battle for sure. The Sharks' secondary scoring is probably not quite where it should be. I'm sure they certainly have a second line right now that's not bad. You got Alexander Wenberg in the middle, Toffoli, and right now Pavel Legenda on that second line. You got William Eklund on the third line with Michael Misa and Adam Gaudette. So you've got a little bit of depth there, but I think if the Sharks really want to make the playoffs and maybe do a little bit of damage in the playoffs, then that secondary scoring really needs to start to come through. I think Celebrini, there's been 13 games this year in which she's been held off the score sheet, and the Sharks have lost 12 of those games. The one exception being, a few days ago, forget the name of the team, but it was just, typically if Celebrini is held off the score sheet, that's meant that the Sharks are kind of in a tough spot. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I think this team is starting to find its groove offensively. Toffoli's starting to come around a little bit. Regenda's been a really pleasant surprise for this team in terms of his offense. Like, Michael Misa's getting a little bit more comfortable each game he plays, and so, it should get better as the season goes on here, but still a tough test tonight for the Sharks if Celebrini is slowed down.
I'm curious too about Yaroslav Askarov because I know Oiler fans were clamoring for a goalie at the draft in years past, and it's always a thing around here, and people really liked him. And when he got drafted by Nashville, people were disappointed the Oilers couldn't get him, and then they see him get traded to San Jose, and we've kind of watched it. I think he had a great game in his lone appearance against the Oilers. I think it was last season. How is he developing and evolving? He's only 23 years old. What are you noticing about him?
Right. Yeah, this is his first full year in the NHL. I mean, he spent a split time last season between the American League and the Sharks. So, I think the start of the year was pretty kind of a little challenging for him. I think he wore the weight of trying to be a number one goalie at 23 years old, and maybe tried to do a little bit too much, or it was a little bit maybe too aggressive at times kind of thing. But, he had a very good month of November. It was one of the top goalies in the NHL in November. Kind of since that point, it's been a little bit up and down. I mean, he played well, Tuesday night in Vancouver. That sort of got his confidence back. Before that, he has been 1-4 with I believe an .830 save percentage in his last 5 games before Tuesday there. So, I think the Sharks hope they can kind of recapture that form. Like you said, that game last season, I think it was right before Christmas in Edmonton, where he kind of stood on his head and was the main reason why the Sharks were able to come out of that game with at least a point. So maybe the good vibes come back for him against obviously a dangerous Oilers team. And, he's going to need to play well too down the stretch here if the Sharks want to make the playoffs. Him and Nedeljkovic have made a nice tandem so far this year. Now they just kind of need that consistency where you're getting on a night in, night out basis.
Curtis Pashalka joining us from the Bay Area News Group as we get you set for the Oilers and the Sharks. This San Jose team, obviously, kind of on the up and up, and it's been a long process. There's no denying that. And Mike Grier has put together an exciting team that people are noticing staying in the mix for the playoff picture. But when this team struggles, I mean, I'm assuming outside of when Celebrini, Smith, and the secondary scoring are having trouble putting pucks in, where else do these Sharks still need to improve?
Well, you'll typically see when the Sharks are, play well, it's because they get off to a good start and they're able to find their game early in terms of getting in on the forecheck, creating turnovers, possessing the puck. That's been a little bit hit and miss here of late, but they had tough games against Vegas the last couple of times they played them. Weren't kind of lopsided losses there. They got blown out by Tampa Bay the last 2 times they played them. So those are just games where they just got pushed out a little bit. Weren't able to find the middle of the ice. Kind of was just a tough, veteran, big, heavy teams that they kind of have some struggles with. And so, that's sort of the next area of the Sharks, where they need to improve the most is being able to compete against those kind of games. It's great if you've got your A game against a good opponent. How are you going to be able to stay competitive when you don't have all cylinders firing? You have to play with your B game or your C game. How can you still pick up points that way? So a lot of you'll watch the first 5-10 minutes tonight. You'll get a good idea whether or not this Sharks team has its feet moving. Is able to kind of create some chances, and I'm kind of curious to see what the Oilers do in terms of matching up against that Celebrini line, whether or not what kind of matchups they might create there, and whether or not the Sharks can, if Celebrini is being neutralized, then then how do they sort of overcome that and, still put together a good effort. I think the Sharks are in a much better position now to do that than they were last year and maybe the start of this season. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight and if the Sharks can get off to a good start and give themselves a chance.
Winners of 3 of their last 4, 7-3 in the last 10. They're in a wild card spot right now. Can you see them being in the mix when we get into the nitty gritty in the late part of the season? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you mentioned the record here. I think they're 10-4 since Christmas, since the Christmas break, and I think that's the best points percentage in the division up until this point. So clearly, they're doing some things right now. I'm kind of curious to see what happens at the deadline. Mike Greer's got some decisions to make. He's got a lot of pending UFAs, and notably on the back end with the guys like Mario Ferraro and John Klingberg. What makes sense for the Sharks to do if they're kind of on the periphery of a playoff spot, but maybe you get a good offer for one of those guys. That's going to be Mike Greer's biggest decision towards the deadline is whether or not to maybe recoup some assets for those players or just keep them and go for a playoff spot. I think he said last week when we talked to him, he's open to either pathway for this team, and certainly they've made a lot of strides this year. So, and there'd be some value too, and for these young guys to be in a playoff chase down the stretch. Celebrini, Smith, Misa, Sam Dickinson on the back end. That would be pretty valuable experience for those players to be involved in that type of pressure atmosphere. But we'll see. I mean, Mike Greer still has to look at the big picture and do what's best for the organization overall. It should be interesting to see what happens there.
Hey, speaking of experiences, Super Bowl heading to the Bay Area. I'm sure it's already starting to get crazy around there. And you're going to be covering the Super Bowl. Is that your first one, as I understand it?
My first one. I mean, the last time that the Super Bowl was in the Bay Area, I was actually on the road with the Sharks, so I wasn't able to be part of those coverage plans. But looking forward to it. I'm once you get in the stadium, it's fine. It's just getting there, fighting the traffic and the whatever barriers they have set up in terms of protecting the periphery there, or that kind of thing. So once I get there and in the stadium, it'll be fine. It's just maybe the before and after that's going to be a bit of a hassle in terms of getting in and out of there. But looking forward to it. I've never covered one live, and this will be the first time. So I guess anything can happen. You got a pretty good game too. Patriots and Seahawks should be fun.
Well, who do you think is going to win, Curtis? I can't let you off the hook before we finish this up.
I really like the Seahawks. I think they got the defense to do it. Their quarterback is a little more experienced. Sam Darnold in terms, Drake Mays had a phenomenal season. I'm just kind of curious to see how he performs against that Seahawks defense, which kind of reminds you of the old Seahawks defense when they won last time they won the Super Bowl. The Legion of Boom, I think it was called. So kind of like back in that era. It's not too many Seahawks fans here in the Bay Area, but so I'll see if they travel pretty well here and make their presence felt inside Levi's Stadium. So yeah, really looking forward to that. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, as a Cardinals fan, I understand perhaps that dislike of the Seahawks in the NFC West for sure. So very cool. And I also have to say kudos to you on making the veteran move and just going to Chicago and Colorado to wrap up this trip with the Sharks instead of coming up here and doing the whole loop. So well done, sir. I know it's not your first rodeo, and then enjoy the Super Bowl. That's going to be awesome. And then thanks for the time today, Curtis. We always appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Awesome stuff, Curtis Pashelka. Off to the Super Bowl, Benny. But
That's sweet.
quick John over to Colorado and Chicago to catch up with the Sharks on this 5-game road trip. And then he goes back home. Santa Clara is right in between San Jose and Oakland, if I'm remembering correctly, or Oakland and San Fran. It's like the horseshoe with the 3 big cities, and Santa Clara is right there. Hopping on the train from San Jose to Oakland to get to a baseball game, we went by Levi Stadium, I believe. Yeah. It looks cool. So that should be fun. We're doing our Super Bowl party, the watch party at Selly's So come on down, join us. I think it's getting close to being booked up. Give them a call. Get in touch with Renee. She's fantastic. This is going to be our 3rd year there. We always have a great time. Great food options and game day specials and drink options, 6 o'clock or lager, all that stuff. It's going to be awesome. Benny, this is your first one with us, right?
Yep. First one.
It's a good time. Really, really good time. So come on down, join us on Super Bowl Sunday, and we'll be at Selly's. The whole crew will be there watching, maybe putting some sprinkles down on Play Alberta. Benny, I wanted to get to this really quickly. I saw it when I was scrolling on Twitter, and Forbes has put out its ranking, or what is it, most profitable sports teams in 2026. Oh, yeah. You're not going to believe this.
I saw the list. I saw a graphic of it, and I saw the 3rd team on that list. Shocking.
The little team that could, man. The Edmonton Oilers, 3rd on the Forbes World's Most Profitable Sports Teams list. Number 1, the Dallas Cowboys. I'll read just like a little snippet of their estimates. They said, here are the world's 20 most profitable sports teams ranked by estimated operating income, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization during the most recent season with available data. So the Cowboys, number 1, operating income, $629 million. I'm pretty sure these figures are all in USD. Their value is $13 billion. Billion. The Golden State Warriors, speaking of that area, San Jose, Oakland, San Fran, the Golden State Warriors, number 2, operating income, $409 million, according to Forbes. Their value is $11 billion. Number 3, in a tie, the Edmonton Oilers and the LA Rams, Benny.
Ridiculous.
Operating income for both teams, $244 million. The value of the Oil, $3.2 billion. Kate's bought them for, I think, $240. He's made a lot of money off of them. Also, the prices are ridiculous at games. Let's not kid ourselves. And the other thing too is, and I like to lean this way, and I'm very, very aware of pricing and all that. But this oil country, if you will, is gaga for this team.
Oh yeah.
And we see it, and people literally pay hand over fist because they love the team so much. So LA Rams, by the way, value $10.5 billion. Isn't that crazy?
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Oil country, man. Punching way above its weight, I think is the term. But part of it too is they get you once you're in that door. They get you. I'm going in right away.
Bit of victim.
Yep. If they win a Stanley Cup, though, eases that pain.
For sure. Easily.
Eases that pain. Absolutely. Let's see if we got any final thoughts from anybody. Norman to Combine. Let's go Oilers, says Norm. Benny, have a great birthday on Saturday. Oh, very nice. Pat in the county. Surprising with the affordable $30 popcorn and pop deal. Pat in the county. Well said. I'll leave it there because you nailed it, buddy. Super, super expensive, but CJ in Chicago, pretty good ROI by my math for Uncle Daryl. Yes, Uncle Daryl has done quite well with that. CJ, excellent use of the money emoji, the money emoji face, and he makes big bucks. So way better than the situation was when it was Edmonton Investors Group, when they were playing at Rexall, aka the Coliseum, when they were almost sold to a businessman from Houston. I think his name was Les Alexander in 1998. One of the world's most profitable sports teams, tied for 3rd with the LA Rams. Incredible. So that's really neat. I mean, we could go into it and talk about it for hours, but Oil Country, you love that team with all your heart and your bucks. So well done. Kudos to you. And just an interesting article put out by Forbes. All right, that's going to do it for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Big thank you to Curtis Pashelka for the Bay Area News Group. Great stuff on Macklin Celebrini, Will Smith, and the San Jose Sharks sitting second in a wild card spot. As of right now, we'll see what happens. 15 games on the schedule. Oilers looking for their first 3-game winning streak of the season. We're going to break it all down after the Oilers and Sharks right back here on Edmonton Sports Talk for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream postgame show. For Benny and Cass, I am Tommy saying enjoy the game. We'll see you in a few hours.